Hello, my friends. Today we're learning Baba Basra Daf Hayomi. It's a bit of a complicated cheshbon sugya, so let's get into it. So first, the Mishnah on Ayin Aleph says there's a machloikis between Rabbi Akiva and Chachomim. Does someone who sells, does he sell in a generous way? That's Shittas Rabbi Akiva. And then you have Shittas Rabbanon who holds, no, a person says B'ain Ro Moicher, in a stingy way. And then there was another machlokes. Another machlokes about when someone's magdish is filled, what does it include? So Rabbanan said that includes not only what you, in a sale, it includes much more than that, also the bur and the dus and all that. And Rav Shimon comes and argues and says, only the shikma and the chorov amurkov is sadana shikma, only that's included in the hegdesh, but all the other things are not included in the hegdesh. And we saw in the Gemara on Daf Ayin Aleph Amud Beis that the reason is that because if you makdish the field and the sadam shikma is not being mukdish, where the yonik from? It's yonik from hegdesh. So therefore, that's also part of hegdesh. So that was the Mishnah. And then we had the Rav Huna's din, and we said he had a kash on Rav Huna, and then we came to a maskana that Rab Shimon in the Mishnah is lefishitas Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva and Rab Shimon go together, the be'ain yofo moicha, and Rav Huna's din was in shitas Rabbanon, the be'ain ro moicha. So now we're up to Daf Hayomi Beis Amud Aleph, at the top line. Said the Gemara, mi motzis mukmis lo Rab Shimon ke Rabbi Akiva. Can you say the Rab Shimon is going in shitas Rabbi Akiva that the moicha be'ain yofo moicha? Why not? V'otanya, we learned in the Brisa, higdish sholois inolos. So before we start this, I just want to say something, that there is such a thing. That if someone is makdish sode achuzah, that means a sode that belongs to him, inheritance from his father and his father from his father, he's makdish it and he wants to redeem it. So there's a certain price for each year to redeem the field. And when you redeem it with the trees on it. You don't look at it separate, the trees and the field. No, you look at that one piece. Now, if it's just the field that you bought, it's not a sode achuzah, you value it for its value that it is. And so now let's see the Brisa and let's look. Vatanya, we learned in the Brisa, Higdi shalois shilonois mimato asoro lebeiso. Someone was magdish 3 trees. That these 3 trees implanted in a space like that you have when you have 10 of these trees in a beiso. So that's a normal amount to plant trees in. Aryeh igdish is a karka. So like when you sell someone 3 trees, you sell them also karka. So when you magdish 3 trees, so also the karka around those trees are also sold. And also the small trees are in between them. Lefikach, therefore, kishu poide, when he wants to redeem it from hekdesh, poide beizera choymer so'erim b'chamishim shekel kesef. He pays at the price, at the fixed price, and we're talking about sode achuzah, that you pay per year. You pay a certain amount per year that's left until you're able to be poided from hekdesh. Poches mikan, less than that, that means if there was, poches mikan's means, if there was less of amount of land, I mean there was too many trees in a small piece of land, so it's like a forest. It's not considered the trees are planted in the right way. Or yesal ken, or there is too much land and too little trees. Or you makdish first the trees, one first tree and then another tree and then another tree. In that case, you don't say that the karka is part of the trees and the karka is not kodesh, only the trees. Not the small trees that's in between them. Lefikach, therefore, when you want to redeem these trees, you see how much the value of these trees are, and you have to redeem it in that value. As we said, because this special din is only by land that has a fixed price, but by trees it doesn't have a fixed price. It says the price even more so. If you magdish first the trees by themselves, and so therefore one by one, and therefore the land is not kodesh. Now he was magdish the land that these trees are sitting on. So now at the end of the day, the land and the trees belong to hekdesh. When you want to redeem it, you don't say that now the trees together with the land of kodesh, I could redeem it in the fixed price of a land. No, because you magdish the trees first, so these trees have a value for their value. So now even though you magdish the land, you can't, you have to redeem the trees for the value. And then the land you redeem to the fixed price, but it's 2 separate entities. You don't put it all together. Said the Gemara, okay, so we see this brisa. Said the Gemara, money. Who is this brisa? Rabbi Akiva. If it's Rabbi Akiva who holds that when someone sells something, he gives it b'ayin yofa, he says he gives it generously. The kol sheken magdish, even more so. Someone who's magdish gives it generously. So therefore, even if you magdish 2 trees, not 3 trees, very good by mechira. Sorry, Rabbi Akiva holds that even by mechira, when you sell 2 trees, you give you're selling also the land. So if you magdish 2 trees first, so you magdish the land. So if you magdish the land together with the trees, so that why does it say in the brisa that the land's not kodesh, only the trees if you just did the trees? Elamai can't be Rabbi Akiva. Rabbanon, if you want to tell me Chitas Rabbanon, or Amri Moicha, the Ba'in Ra Moicha, Rabbanon hold the Dafka Moicha is Ba'in Ra. Avol Magdish, someone who's Magdish to Hegdish, Ba'in Yofa Magdish, he gives the Hegdish generously, and therefore even the land should be Kodesh. Like when you sell Lefi Rabbanon, you don't sell the gas and the shoivach and the bor, but when you magdish, that is Kodesh. So when you sell 2 trees, the land is not part of it, but when you magdish 2 trees, the land's part of it. So therefore everything should be Kodesh, and therefore you should redeem it in the fixed price. Why does it say that the land is not Kodesh? Elop Shita Rab Shimoni. It must be that this price is Rab Shimon. Rab Shimon Alibed the man. Who is Rab Shimon holding like? Alibed Rabbi Akiva. If Rab Shimon holds like Rabbi Akiva, the Moicha Bain Yofa Moicha, Ha'omar Moicha Bain Yofa Moicha, the Kol Sheken Magdish. And therefore we have the same question like we asked before, that if it's Bain Yofa by Hegdish, so therefore the land should be Kodesh. Why is the land not Kodesh? Elop Shita, it must be Alibed Rabbanon. We could see that Rab Shimon holds like Rabbanon, the Moicha B'ayin Ra Moicha, because of Rab Shimon Ke'echad, the Moicha B'ayin Ra, like Rabbanon holds that when someone sells, he does it in a stingy way. Moicha, so also Magdish, also someone's Magdish, Nami B'ayin Ra Magdish. Umeshaya Ara, Rab Shimon holds that there's no difference between Hekdish and Mechira. Like Mechira, there's B'ayin Ra, if Rabbanon. Rab Shimon argues in Rabbanon in a case where his Magdish, he holds it's also B'ayin Ra, and therefore he leaves the land for himself, and therefore it says in the brisa that when you Magdish the trees, the land does not become Kodesh, and therefore it comes out the our brisa as Rab Shimon. And Rab Shimon holds that B'ayin Ra, not like Rabbi Akiva, like we said before. So we have a kasha on what we said before, Lefi how we answered Rav Huna. Said the Gemara Daf Hayomi Beis Amud Beis. Ve'elo kashi. You know what? Let me ask you a question, nothing to do with Rav Huna. Let me ask you a question, Rab Shimon himself. Ve'elo kashi, it's type of the Lashon over here. The Rashbam explained it's like a ta'amech type of thing. Why are you asking on me? On you it's also shver. So says the Gemara, Lakasha oil v'yoin ki misod hekdesh. Rab Shimon explained in the Mishnah. That's the whole reason in the Mishnah is why. Sorry, the Brisa explained that the reason of Rab Shimon in the Mishnah that when he makdish that the big carob tree and the big sycamore tree are hekdesh is because it's yoinik misod hekdesh. That means a person gives it generously. If you magdish it not generously, so you left yourself the land around the carob tree, around the sycamore tree, so what's the problem? There's no problem whatsoever. It's not yoinik Mr. Hekdesh. Elamai, we could see clearly in Rab Shimon himself that he holds that someone who gives it to Hekdesh, he gives it generously. Says the Gemara, Elo Rab Shimon Divrei Rabbanon Karmalahu. Says the Gemara a whole new chat in Rab Shimon. When Rab Shimon told him that yoinek Mr. Hekdesh, he was telling him Lefishet es Rabbanon. Ledidi, Rab Shimon says to me, Ke'echad Moicha B'ayin Ra Moicha, like someone who sells it in a stingy way. Magdish Nami B'ayin Ra Magdish. So when someone's Magdish is also giving in a stingy way, and therefore the bor, the dus, the sycamore tree, the carob tree is not Hekdesh. V'shira Mishaya. And he leaves himself the land, and therefore it's not yoinek mehekdesh. But says Rab Shimon to Rabbanon ledidaichu, to your shitta that someone's magdish, he gives it in a very generous way, even more than Rabbi Akiva's generous way. Even though the whole machlokes of Rabbi Akiva and Rabbanon was ba'ayin yofa or not, but everyone agrees that the bur and the dus is not included in the sale. But Rabbanon went with hekdesh a whole long further way and say that by hekdesh even the bur and the dus is hekdesh. So Rab Shimon asks Rabbanon ledidaichu oidu lumiyah deloi hekdesh ela charav amruko v'sadan hashikmo. Why are you going so far and saying that even the even the borer and the dus and the shoivach, the all hektish. You want to say that makdish be'ayin yafa? Okay, be be'ayin yafa like Rabbi Akiva by Mechira, and say that the land is part of hektish, and therefore by Sadon Shikma and the carob tree and the sycamore tree, then that should be hektish because you makdish the whole land. You never left anything for yourself, and therefore it's yonik mehektish, and therefore the trees are also kadosh. But all the other things, why are they kadosh? Rabbanon say no, there's no difference. There's no difference between we hold that when someone's Magdish, he's very, very generous and he gives the boru, the dus, etc., everything. Okay, so now we understand that Reb Shimon holds be'ain. The Reb Shimon could go like Rabbi Akiva. Sorry, Reb Shimon could go like everyone. It could be that Ravunas going in even the Shittas Rabbi Akiva. Says the Gemara Kasha, but Mayukim Tilo. What did we explain the Brayso on Amud about someone who was makdish the trees and then the karakak? Reb Shimon. We said they must be like Reb Shimon because it doesn't fit not like Rabbi Akiva, not like Rabbanon. Aim a sefer. Let's see the sefer of the Brayso. Even more so. Afilu Igdish Esailonois because of Igdish Esakarka. Even if he was makdish first the trees and then he was makdish a land. Kishu Poida when he redeems it. Poida Esailonos B'Shaviem. You have to redeem the trees in the value, and then the choiza you have to come again. The size of where you could plant as beiser choyma sorim b'chamishim shekel kesef for 50 years, for 49 years until the yovel. Rab Shimon, if you're going to tell me this price is Rab Shimon, lezo bosa pidyon v'nifrikor agavarayu. Let's look at it now. Rab Shimon, like we're going to see in a second, we're going to bring a raya. Rab Shimon says, when you're coming to point to something, you look at it at the time now. At this moment now, what's Kodosh? The land and the trees. So look at it as one entity, be point of the land, and you don't have to be point of the trees and the value. Why do you look at it separate things? Because we could see from somewhere else, the Rab Shimon holds that you look at the value now. We don't look at it how much value was it when you makdish it? Where do we see this? Doshamin and Leila Rab Shimon, we know that Rab Shimon holds, Doza Basa Pidyon, the Rab Shimon holds that we go at the time of the redemption, not the time of the Akdosha. How do we know that? The Tanya, it says in the Brisa, someone who bought a field from his father, a field that he's going to get in Yerusha in the future, it's a soda chuza in the future. Right now it's his father, then he bought it off his father's vigdisha. Now he was makdish it, and now his father passed away. And now his father passed away, so anyway it's his land, so now it is his soda chuza. How do I know there has a din of soda chuza that if you redeem it for a fixed price and you don't look at the actual value? Says the Brayso, so Talmud Loima, we learn from the Brayso, we learn from the Pasuk. It says it says in the Pasuk that if you had a soda that you bought, not soda that you yarshened, and we're saying soda she'in royaloi soda chuza, that only when do you look at the actual value in a field that it's not royal to be soda chuza. Stam a field you bought, but this field that you bought from your father, and then his father passed away and you yarshened it, so it's soda chuza. Now it's soda chuza, so it's royal to be soda chuza. In such a case, it's potentially soda chuza, and in such a field you also redeem it for a fixed value. That's the shittus, Rab Shimon, and in this stage of the Gemara understand that's all drosha from the pasuk, just a svar that's the way they understand it, because you look after Shas Pidyon, and B'Shas Pidyon, the father passed away, the son yarshened him, so now it is Soda Chuza, he pays a fixed price. So it's a kasha to what we said before. Why before do you have to redeem the tree separately and the land separately? Rameo argues, he says, he learns from the pasuk something else. If you bought the field from your father that you were going to yarshin anyway, you may solve when first the father died, and only afterwards he was makdish. So he was makdish after you already type of would yarshin it anyway. How do you know that you only pay the fixed price and you don't have to pay the full value? Talmud Laima from the same pasuk in soda miknosa shaloim soda chuza soda she'eno soda chuza. Yotzuzu excluded this one. She saw the chuza that at the end of the day the father passed away. See it anyway, yarshened it, and it would be a soda chuza, and therefore he pays a fixed price. Said the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda Rab Shimon, Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon, in the case where the father passed away first, and only afterwards the son was makdish's field. You don't need that pasuk because that's obvious. You yarshened it already. It's a soda chuza. When do you need the chiddush from the pasuk? When do you need this? The chiddush is that you makdish it, and only afterwards the father passed away. So then it's a chiddush, because when the father passed away, it's already hekdesh, and maybe you can't call it soda chuza. Kamash malon it's soda chuza. Says the Gemara, Minolahu. How do they know this? Says the Gemara. How does Reb Shimon and Reb Yehuda know this? If from the pasuk we brought it, how do you know to say such a big chiddush? Because there's two cases. There's a smaller chiddush as Rameir's case. At first the father passed away and then he yarshed and only afterwards he was makdish. That's a smaller chiddush. And then the bigger chiddush is that you bought it, you makdish it, and only afterwards the father passed away. So if you only know the pasuk and it's not mashmos in the pasuk, so obviously you should only know the smaller chiddush like Rameir. Elolav, it must be what's pshat mishum da'azli basa pidyon, because Reb Shimon and Reb Yehuda was obvious for them nothing to do with the pasuk that you look at shas pidyon, and since the shas, so for the case of Rameh you don't need the chiddush, because if b'shas pidyon he was magdish it already after the father passed away, you don't need the pasuk. So it must be the pasuk's coming to tell you in a case where the father passed away, when he was magdish it and then he father passed away. So, but we could see from here that Reb Shimon holds that someone who's magdish, that you look after pidyon. So also by us, when you magdish the trees and afterwards the field, you should look at shas pidyon. It all belongs to Hegdish now. Let's be put all together. Omar Rav Nachman Baritzok, Rav Nachman Baritzok answers, Lo'olam ba'alma, really everywhere Rab Yehuda Rab Shimon lo yozli basa pidyon. They don't look after the shas pidyon, how much it's worth, or who it belongs to, b'shas pidyon, who it belongs to. V'hocha, over here, the reason why Rab Shimon Yehuda say that even that the father passed away after the Magdashet, he still could be pointed like a soda choza, crash she found it in the actual pasuk, Aryeh to the shita. Because in Cain, if it's only like Rameh, lichtov kra, it should say in the pasuk, v'im sode miknos asher lo yachuzosoi. It should say in the pasuk, v'im sode miknosoi asher lo yachuzosoi. Why did it say misode achuzosoi? It's extra. Inami should say soda chuzosoi. Naya sheloi mi soda chuzosoi. So we have here extra words in the pasuk. So it's coming to tell you esha eina ruyu soda chuzah. What field they pay the full value is a field they have no shaykhus to chuzah. Yotzuzu, it's excluded this one sharuya liyo soda chuzah, because he bought it from his father, and if his father would pass away without it buying, it would be his field. Therefore, it's ruya to be soda chuzah, and therefore, if you magdish it, even if the father passed away afterwards, you could redeem it from hekdesh in the fixed value, and therefore it's a limud in the pasuk. They learned it from a duke in the pasuk. The pasuk's extra. It's nothing to do from the svar of pidyon, but really, Reb Shimon doesn't hold you look at shas pidyon, and therefore no mud aleph, when you magdish the trees and afterwards the field, you have to redeem each one separately, because when you look at shas hekdesh and mesash hekdesh, these trees had a value at themselves, not part of the field, because you're not magdish a field at the beginning, and therefore you have to redeem each one separately. Till here, the end of the cheshbon of the sugya of this sugya. Said the Gemara, Amar Avono. Says Avono, Chorov Amrukov, Chorov that's already an old carob tree, the Sadan Ashikma and a big sycamore tree, Teres Ilonolov, it has a din of tree, the Teres Karkolov, and it has a din of karka, and we're going to explain. Teres Ilonolov will gabe what the Eicha the Hagdish, in a case where you magdish, or Zobin Steilonois, where you magdish, or you sold 2 trees and this carob tree or this sycamore tree, so now you have a total of 3 trees. Yeshloi karka. So hekdesh of the buyer has karka, because you look at it at 3 trees, we don't say this is a special tree and it has a separate thing. No, it's part of the 3 trees, and like when you sell 3 trees, karka goes with it. So also here it has a teres ilon, like a ilon, that when you sell 3 ilonos, you get karka over it. Teres karka olov legabe water they have a teres karka. Deloy mizdaben agav ara, that it has a din like a field with neatzmo, like we learned in our Mishnah that when you sell a sode, the sadon ashikmo and the carob tree is not sold, because it has a din of a karka by itself, and legabe that it has a din karka, so it has a din ilan and it has a din karka. Well, Ravuna comes and says another than a similar thing. Oima is a pile of hay. Sheyesh bois is saying that it's a big pile. It's not like a small pile. So it has teres oima love. It has a din of oima. The teres godish love, and also has a din of godish. So we have a din that if someone forgets a pile in the field and he leaves it there, so you have to leave it for the anim. But if you left 3, you don't have to leave it for the anim. And there's another din that godish, that's a big pile, and you left it, you don't have to leave it for the anim. So says the Gemara. So let's see again. It's a big oima. Teres oima love. Teres godish love. Teres oima love. Dishnei oimorim shikha. If you left 2 little piles of oimorim, it's shikha. You can't take. You have to leave it for the poor people. Shnaim ve'ub. If you left 2 oimorim together with this big oima, that's a sign. It's a very big oima. Einon shikha, because we look at it as 3 oimorim and it saves the other 2. Torah is Godish Olav, and it also has a din of a big pile, like what? Itnan, we learned Omer Sheyesh Bo Shosayim, or pile that's a big pile that has an amount of Shosayim. Shokcha, if you forgot it even by itself, not with three, ain't Shikcha, because by itself it's not called Omer. And therefore there's no shikha. But it does have a din oimer that if you got two with it, so it saves the other two to be three, and therefore you don't have to leave it for the anin. Omar Rabba Bar Bar Chan Omar Shlokish Chor Ramurkov the Sadon Ashikmo, a carob tree, an adult carob tree, and an adult sycamore tree. Bono le Machloikis Rabbi Nachem Bar Yosi Rabbonon. It's a Machloikis or Nachem Bar Yosi Rabbonon, like in the Mishnah. When you makdish a field, is the kodesh together with the field or not? Says the Gemara Daf Hayomi, V'leima Machloikis Rab Shimon Rabbonon. It's our Mishnah. Why are you coming to Mechadish me? It's our Mishnah. Say this is a Machloikis Rab Shimon Rabbonon. Why are you adding into me Rab Menachem Bar Yosi? Says the Gemara, Hokom Mashman. This is the Chiddush. Rab Menachem Bar Yosi Rab Shimon Tzvulei. He wants to say it's a Chiddush that we didn't know. We knew that Rab Shimon Rabbonon Choylek. So comes Rabba Bar Avuna in the name of Rish Lakish to tell you a Chiddush that Rab Menachem Bar Yosi also holds like Rab Shimon and not like Rabbanon. Thank you very much. I hope everyone understood the cheshbon, and we should understand all the cheshbonis in the Gemara, and we should be able to get to the depth of it, and to always remember it, and to think in learning also when we're going in the street, and to enjoy it. Thank you very much.